Viewers of the ITV drama are aware that the pair's romance was thrown into turmoil after the reappearance of Lisa's spouse, Becky Swain. Coronation Street followers believe they have uncovered Lisa Swain's hidden agenda, with many worrying that Carla could be preparing to leave. Fans of the soap will remember that the couple's stability was shaken when Lisa's wife, Becky, resurfaced after being presumed dead. In a dramatic twist, Becky suddenly appeared in the lounge of Lisa and her fiancée Carla at number 6 Coronation Street during their daughter Betsy's 18th birthday, shocking everyone who had thought she perished in the line of duty 4 years earlier. As Lisa struggled to make sense of the deception, Becky revealed she had lived in Spain under a false identity as part of witness protection after an undercover mission ended in disaster. Since that revelation, Lisa has been wrestling with her emotions while also searching for the full truth. She challenged her superior, D.I. Costello, who backed Becky's account, though doubts remain about whether he is being completely honest. At the same time, Carla has tried to stand by her fiancé even as Becky repeatedly turns up at their house. Lisa had hoped to keep the news from Betsy, but the teenager discovered the truth anyway. And although their reunion has been turbulent, Betsy appears to be gradually accepting her mother's return. During Wednesday's visit to the Cobbles, Betsy ditched her college classes so she could reconnect with her other mother. When Becky tried to scold her over her recent actions, Betsy lashed out, saying she had no authority to act like a parent after abandoning her, before storming away. Becky later returned to number 6, where Carla confronted her angrily and snapped that she should go back to being dead. Ignoring the harsh words, Becky later sought out Lisa for a conversation, but when Betsy walked in, she was furious that her mom had let Becky in and demanded she leave at once. However, Becky then handed her a stack of cards, explaining that for every birthday she'd missed, she had written a note expressing the words she longed to say in person. This gesture melted Betsy's anger, and she told her mother to stay. Not long after, Carla came home to find Becky in the kitchen alongside Betsy and Lisa, helping out. Though the factory boss claimed it was fine, Lisa admitted she couldn't refuse Betsy the chance to spend time with Becky, but Carla's downcast expression revealed her true feelings. As the storyline unfolds, some Coronation Street viewers suspect Lisa may be playing Becky at her own game, while others worry it's genuine, and that her actions might push Carla away, at least for a while. Coronation Street's Abby and Carl face fresh drama tonight. Here's how Debbie reacts. In the latest Coronation Street episode, Debbie Webster finally uncovers Abby and Carl's affair. But how will she cope when she realizes her brother has been sleeping with their other brother's wife? The drama begins with Abby waking up on the sofa after telling Kevin their marriage is over. It also happens to be her birthday, and Jack lifts her spirits with a present and the promise of tea and cake, though Kevin soon dampens the atmosphere. Abby then makes her way to the hotel to see Carl, though her visit is only to unload her troubles, not for anything romantic. Frustrated, Carl secretly contacts his side fling, James Bailey. Later at the cabin, Abby interrupts Debbie chatting with Rita Tanner and Jenny Connor. While paying, Abby drops a hotel keycard, something Debbie immediately notices. Debbie follows Abby back to the garage and demands to know why she has the card. Abby claims it's left over from a past stay, but Debbie isn't convinced. Carl steps in and covers by suggesting Debbie must have forgotten about Abby's visit due to her dementia. Though it convinces Debbie, the comment leaves Abby shaken. That was ruthless, she tells Carl afterward. Soon after, Debbie is called about faulty CCTV. While checking, she sees footage of Abby in the hotel corridor. Determined to get answers, she heads to Carl's room, and James narrowly sneaks out. Carl pretends he's too unwell to answer, but Debbie fires back. Unwell, more like Abby's your medicine. She accuses him of tampering with the CCTV to cover his fling with Abby, then points out a condom on the floor. If you lie again or try to make me think I'm confused, I'll comb through every bit of footage and expose exactly how long this has been going on, she warns. Wanting to protect his secret with James, Carl admits to sleeping with Abby. He even claims he might be in love with her, but Debbie scoffs, saying it'll end like all his other failed romances. Back at the Webster home, Debbie storms in to confront Abby about their sleazy affair. Abby insists her feelings for Carl are real and that they plan to build a life together, just as Kevin and Jack walk through the door. Fuming, Debbie tells Abby to move out, though she keeps the truth about the cheating to herself. Later, she meets Carl in the Rovers and gives him an ultimatum. Call it off with her. That way Kevin never has to know. Please, Carl, just walk away. Coronation Street's Jenny fakes news about Rita's health in early ITVX episode. Monday's installment of Coronation Street saw plans put in place to finally pair up Jenny Connor and George Shuttleworth during a speed dating night at the Rovers. In recent weeks, viewers have noticed Jenny developing a soft spot for the well-dressed Undertaker, especially after he came to her rescue with a plumbing mishap at the cabin. On paper, they looked like an ideal couple. George is back on the market after Eileen Grimshaw, his former partner, jetted off to Thailand, deciding before her departure that George wasn't the man for her romantically. Granted, George isn't exactly a thrill seeker, but he's solid and dependable, exactly what Jenny could use after one romance ended in a catfishing scam and the one before that ended in tragedy. But trouble arrived in the form of Christina Boyd, Jenny's longtime foe, who soon made it clear she had her own eye on George. As it turned out, George and Christina weren't total strangers. They'd once almost gone on a blind date years earlier, but George ditched it to go watch wrestling instead. Who knows how life would have turned out if I'd shown up, he joked. George's sister Glenda, who has no love for Christina, decided to meddle by fixing the speed dating so George would be matched with Jenny. Everything was on track until Jenny got a call saying Rita had taken a tumble, forcing her to rush off. Luckily, Rita's fall was nothing serious, though it left her a bit shaken. But when Jenny didn't return to the pub, George grew anxious about her well-being. Making his excuses to Christina, he showed up at Rita's flat with flowers. Meanwhile, Jenny was spotted sweeping outside the cabin, crying and glancing toward the Rovers, convinced George was inside, getting cozy with Christina. At that moment, George arrived, bouquet still in hand after getting no response at Rita's door. It looked like the perfect setup for romance. George comforting Jenny and perhaps realizing she was the one he wanted. Seeing Jenny in tears, George asked what was wrong. To cover, she claimed she was distraught about Rita, insisting her fall was more serious than first thought, and that tests had revealed terrible results. George didn't press for details, and instead embraced her, just as Christina walked out of the Rovers and spotted them. Of course, Rita seemed fine earlier, and actress Barbara Knox shows no sign of stepping away from the soap, so it's doubtful she's gravely ill. Which means Jenny's deception could soon come back to haunt her. Will Rita feel betrayed when she learns her friend lied about her health? Coronation Street continues Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available on ITVX and YouTube.